So you're interested in learning to fly. Woohoo! Around here, we support your decision. Flying is fun and rewarding. Whether it's for recreation or career, you may be asking, how do I start flying? Today, we're answering that and giving some great tips for getting started. All this coming up. So you love aviation, enough that you plan your driving routes to take you around the airport?
Ooh, look, the airport.
Your smartphone background is of an airplane.
Why, hello there.
You watch a lot of flying videos on YouTube.
Oh my gosh, I love this channel.
And you spend maybe a little too much time in the flight simulator.
I'm a Cessna.
Now you've decided you want to become a pilot and have no idea where to get started. Well, the answer of where to get started is simple. Start with a discovery flight. A discovery flight is exactly what it sounds like. The whole thing is designed to show you what flying is really like, and they're a great learning experience. Now, you may have been on a flight before with friends or family, and you may have even taken over the controls and done a few maneuvers. But a discovery flight is a lot different, starting with who takes you on one. Your discovery flight should be done with a certificated flight instructor, or CFI. These guys know their stuff and can provide safe learning environments in the air. They'll take you on a short flight in a small general aviation aircraft and teach you some basics of how to fly. The best part is, you get to fly the plane, for the most part. Now, we're not just going to stand here and talk about what a discovery flight consists of, we're going to go a little further. So we sent our 13-year-old on one to show you guys what a discovery flight is like. So this is Ty. He's rather excited and completely embarrassed to be on camera. But let's get into how the discovery flight works. Now, because our family already flies, we met our CFI at our hangar. But if you do your discovery flight at a flight school or FBO, you'll typically walk in and talk to the front desk. Private instructors will probably meet you in the airport parking lot and escort you to the plane. Once you're at the plane, your instructor will go over the details of the day. He'll talk about what will occur, where you'll fly, and what will happen on the flight. Then you'll both pre-flight the plane, and you'll learn a little bit of how to tell if an airplane is safe to fly. After the pre-flight is complete, it's time to climb in the plane. Your instructor will help you get situated and then show you how some of the controls and gauges work. Next, there will be a short safety briefing on seatbelts, communication, what to do if you feel sick, and emergencies. Once this is complete, you're ready to start up and taxi. Now, your instructor will be doing most of the heavy lifting, but should be talking through what and why they're doing certain things. At any time, they may invite you to do something, but don't feel like you have to do it. It's up to you and your comfort level if you would like to try. For instance, Ty was asked if he wanted to talk on the radio. He said yes, so our instructor walked him through how to do it and Ty made his first call.
Okay, go for it.
Deer Valley Ground, Cessna 7560, ramp 8 with information Zulu. Request taxi for northwest departure.
Good job.
After being cleared onto the field, you'll taxi to the end of the taxiway or run-up area if your airport has one. These are designated areas to test your plane prior to takeoff. Things like controls, engine performance, and gauges are checked or double-checked prior to flight for safety. But one thing you should have noticed by now is the use of checklists. Flying is filled with them, and there's one for almost everything. Their purpose is to make sure we don't forget anything, so get used to using them. Now, with the testing complete, you're ready to go. You'll taxi to the runway, and once cleared, take off to the skies. Since this is your first time taking off, your instructor will be controlling the plane. But you may want to have your hands lightly on the controls and shadow their inputs to help you feel what's going on. After takeoff, you'll head away from the airport to an open or practice area. Here, your instructor will show you the basic controls of the plane and then hand them over to you. Now you're in control and flying the plane. You should start getting a feel for what each input does and see if you can get the plane to go where you want it to. And don't be shy, you're in a safe environment. Feel free to ask questions and try different things in the plane.
Westbound currently at 3,800.
After a bit, your instructor should have you try a few basic maneuvers including turns, climbs, and eventually descents as you start to head back towards the airport to land. Your instructor may even let you fly back to the airport, but they'll take the controls over for landing like they did for takeoff. Just like before, keep your hands lightly on the controls and shadow their inputs so you feel what's going on. All in, the flying portion of the discovery flight typically lasts 30 to 40 minutes. Afterwards, your instructor will talk to you about some of the options with learning to fly and answer any questions you may have about it. If you decide to move on from there, they can help you create a roadmap to becoming a pilot. Now this is a great high-level overview of what goes on during a discovery flight, but yours might be a little different. Depending upon where you do your discovery flight and who you do it with, your experience will be unique. Like, if your flight was in a non-towered airport without air traffic control, you may say you felt free as a bird, whereas someone who flew out of a towered field may say they were overwhelmed by chatter on the radio. These different experiences can change initial impressions about flight in both positive and negative ways. Overall, the discovery flight is the best place to start because it gives you an idea of what flying is really like, but more importantly, it gives you an idea of what flight training is really like. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to become a pilot. If you didn't enjoy your experience or you find you have reservations about the process, then maybe becoming a pilot isn't right for you, and you don't want to get started just to quit midway through. Now, a few tips for your discovery flight before we get into what comes next. Get a good night's sleep the day before so you're well rested. Ask questions. That's what you're here for, to learn. Communicate. If you feel uncomfortable with something, let your instructor know. Oh, and speak up if you get sick before it becomes too late. It's not uncommon to get a little queasy with all the movement and excitement. Bring a logbook or a way to record your flight. Even the discovery flight can count towards your private pilot license. And to answer your next question, how do I schedule a discovery flight? Depending upon where you are, it may take a little legwork to connect with an instructor, especially one that has access to a plane. You can call your local airport or one of their fixed-based operators and ask if they know of anyone or offer discovery flights themselves. You can also contact a flight school for one, even if you don't intend on attending their school. Other options include local flying clubs and aircraft rental companies. Some other great resources if you're struggling to find someone are Facebook groups and Reddit. You can post in some of the groups letting people know that you're looking for a discovery flight with a flight instructor. People in the aviation communities are often very helpful. Now, real quick, you're most likely going to have to pay for your discovery flight. Typically, you pay for the aircraft rental and the instructor rate. We suggest you plan for around $200 to $250, but there are ways to get one for less, or even free if you do a little legwork. Alright, you've had a great time on your discovery flight and you're ready to start your training. Well, we have a few recommendations before you get started. First, make sure you're healthy. The private pilot license requires that you maintain a third-class medical certificate to ensure you're healthy enough to fly. It's a good first step before you start spending money on learning. We actually made a video about it that will be in the description. It has some good information in there, so make sure you check it out, especially if you have a pre-existing condition you think may keep you from becoming a pilot. Next, make sure you're financially ready. Getting your private pilot license can be expensive, so having a game plan on how to fund it is key. Many students have quit before they finish because they simply run out of money. We made a video on what it costs to get your private pilot license to help make sure you have a rough idea, so make sure to check it out down below too. Also, find a good instructor. You may have had fun on your discovery flight, but the instructor you flew with might not be the right instructor for you. You're going to be spending a lot of time in the plane with them, so make sure you get along and that their teaching style works for you. Lastly, make sure you know why you want to become a pilot. Whether it's for recreation or career, have clear goals and a roadmap. Together, they'll help you get to the finish line. Alright, that's it. That's everything you need to know on how to get started flying. Hey guys, thanks for watching our videos. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button and consider subscribing to see what we're doing next. As always, share aviation wherever you can, and we'll see you in the next one.
Alright.
Northeast practice, Skyhawk.
So there's really nothing you can do that would hurt anything.
Miles.
It's
So can I do a barrel?
Northwest.
no barrel rolls.
Ah.
So